Alright, I just sent back my AL Box Alephium miner after having it for 60 days, and in this video I'm gonna go through with you guys just how much I've made mining with this thing, and also thought we should talk a little bit about what the future of Alephium mining is looking like as well. So that is what is coming up in this video after this quick word from our sponsor.
Coin Mining Central is an online store for ASIC miners, and there's no doubt that right now ASIC mining profitability has just been going up like crazy in these past few months. And the miners that I'm personally most interested in right now are probably the Iceriver AL0 Alephium miner and the Jasminer X16Q, which I still think is probably the best ASIC miner available for at-home miners like myself. Coin Mining Central are also continuously providing me with exclusive discount codes for you guys, like the code 𝗬𝗑, which gives you $125 off on every miner in your order. I am also very excited to tell you that Coin Mining Central have recently launched a loyalty program that lets you earn points in loads of different ways, like signing up for their newsletter or following them on social media. You also earn points on every order you make with them, and these loyalty points can then be redeemed for massive discounts on your next purchase. Now, on top of this, with Coin Mining Central, worldwide express shipping is always free, and there are never any added payment fees during checkout or anything like that. The listed price is always the total cost you'll pay for the miners. And I did a lot of research before I decided to partner up with Coin Mining Central, and there were two clear things that stood out to me about them. The first one being that as opposed to most other ASIC vendors that are based overseas, Coin Mining Central is registered and run out of England, Europe, which means they have to adhere to the very strict regulations for customer support and personal detail protection that we have over here. And of course, all brand new miners also come with a full manufacturer warranty. The second thing is their pretty much spotless track record of delivering miners to happy customers like you guys for well over 5 years at this point. So please go check them out today. I'll have the discount codes and link for you down in the video description.
Alright, so Coin Mining Central, who sponsored this video, are also the ones who let me borrow this AL box for 60 days so that I could do this test for you guys. So big thank you to Coin Mining Central for all of that, and yeah, let's get into the result. As I said, I had this AL box for 60 days. I sent it back about a week ago, a little more than a week ago at this point. And yeah, here are the results on the screen. As you can see, it's mined a little bit under 1,000 Alephium during this period of time. I got in on not exactly the first batch, and there was also a little bit of an issue. UPS basically just would not deliver it, so I got mine about a week later than everyone else that kind of was in the same batch of miners. So I kind of missed out on a good portion of very good profitability right at the beginning of receiving this miner, but hey, that's neither here nor there. But as you can see, 937 Alephium mined during these 60 days, which at today's coin price is about $1,750. Now, of course, we could look at previous price action for Alephium and say, oh, what if Alephium goes back to its previous all-time high, which would be about $4, which, isn't, that far-fetched, because it basically would just need to double from here, or maybe it could even go to $5 or $10 or whatever. I guess for it to ROI, because I guess let's talk about ROI now. Obviously, when I got this miner, this thing costs around $10,000. Now it's gone down in price pretty significantly since then, and we'll get into all of that in just a little bit. But also, yeah, it was extremely expensive by the time I got it, and I made a whole video about kind of all of the risks involved with buying such an expensive miner at that specific time, and everything that went into that. So I'm not gonna expand on that in this video. I made a whole video about that kind of high risk miner thing, so you can go check that out. I guess I'll link that down in the video description. But let's instead kind of just look at what the market looks like for Alephium miners right now, because kind of a lot has changed since the AL box first came out. And I guess let's start by just talking about, should you buy the AL box right now? Answer is just a flat out no, in my opinion. If you're looking at anything from Goldshell for Alephium mining, I would absolutely go with the AL box II instead, because it is the exact same efficiency, but twice the hash rate for less than double the price. So these are those two on Coin Mining Central. I'll link them down below. However, again, I personally wouldn't get in either of these. If you are looking for an Alephium at-home miner at this point, I would definitely go with the Iceriver AL0 Alephium miner instead, which I also will get one of these, and I'll explain why in just a little bit. But let's just look at the numbers real quick, which is that yes, the AL Box II is twice as good as the regular AL box, but not twice as expensive, so it is the better option there. However, for looking at the AL0, you can see it's got more hash rate than the regular AL box, while being almost, well, half the price, pretty much. And it is also more power efficient. You're getting 400 gigahash at 100 watts of power, as opposed to less than 400 gigahash at 180 watts of power. So this one, since these two are the same efficiency, this one has both of them beat on efficiency. However, not only does it have both of them beat on efficiency, it also has them both beat in terms of just price per gigahash. As we can, very clearly see, almost 2,000 for the AL box still, while being, less in terms of hash rate, but double the price as this. Even this, you can easily do the math, because this is about $3,000 roughly, and you're getting 720 gigahash for that. And if you were to spend $3,000 and buy AL0s, you'd get 3 of them, which would be 1,200 gigahash. So AL0 basically just has both the gold shells beat any way you look at it, really. And this one is shipping in August, which I guess we're basically in August now. So, but yeah, usually shipping actually means end of the month for these batches. So just keep that in mind. Now, I want to explain first why I personally am gonna get one of these. But then there's obviously something that we need to be very aware of. But let's not jump to that just yet, because I just want to talk about why I want to be getting this AL0. First of all, it's not that expensive. I can afford, as with anything, never invest any money into crypto mining that you cannot afford to lose. And this is a situation like this. This isn't that much money that I'm not willing to take the little risk here, because every piece of mining equipment that you buy is, involves some sort of risk. But since after the Ethereum merge, I made a very conscious effort of wanting to diversify my whole mining farm, because I was all in on GPU mining, and well, basically I got more or less burned after the Ethereum merge, because since then GPU mining, well, it's had periods of profitability, but it's got longer periods of being unprofitable. So what I wanted to do at that point was I sold a significant portion of my GPUs. I kept the best ones, and I also bought a few more ones of the ones that I really liked. But I also allocated some of the funds from selling, a big portion of my GPUs into some CPU mining rigs, as well as some ASIC miners, because I want to diversify into GPU mining, CPU mining, and ASIC mining. Because then I believe if you're got, small pots in all 3 of those categories, you're kind of more safe in a way, because yeah, maybe GPU mining will be unprofitable for a while, but then CPU and ASIC mining might carry you through that period, and maybe CPU mining will be unprofitable for a while, but then GPU and ASIC mining can carry you during that period, and so on. But not only do I want to diversify in terms of the 3 categories, but also within those categories I want to try to diversify as much as I can. And what that looks like for ASIC mining is I want to buy ASIC miners for different algorithms. ASIC miners, they can only ever mine the algorithm that they are designed to mine. So for this one, that means this Iceriver AL0 will only ever be able to mine the Alephium algorithm. And I'm okay with that, because, it's one miner. I have some Caspa ASICs, I have some Ethereum Classic ASICs, I have a Script ASIC, so I'm a little bit diversified there. And kind of my thinking here is, when I go for ASICs like these, none of us can ever tell the future. We can never know exactly what's gonna happen is this miner going to make its money back and ROI, or is Alephium gonna crash and we lose all our money basically, or is Alephium gonna moon and this is one of the best investments you could have ever made? We can't really know, we can't tell the future. However, I look at these as kind of, do they fall within sort of an area of plausibility that, yeah, from my own personal perspective, and not financial advice obviously, because as I've just said, I cannot tell the future, but just from my personal perspective, this falls a little bit within a range of, yeah, I would say it's plausible that this Iceriver AL0 will ROI and make back the roughly $1,000 that it would cost. And the reason that I say that is because if we do look at the current profitability of this AL0, we can see that, yeah, I mean, it's making a little bit under $20 per day. So, with that in mind, it would only take, what, a month for it, a little bit more, 1 month and a half to ROI at the current profitability. However, yeah, we'll get into why that is most likely not going to be the case at all. But I'm willing to take the risk here. So let's address the elephant in the room, which is obviously that also Bitmain has announced their massive new Alephium miner, which has 15.6 terahash as opposed to the 400 gigahash of the AL0. So it is about, what would that be, 30-40 times more hash rate. Anyway, at about, yeah, 3,500 watts, 15.6 terahash. What's, most likely to happen is that once these start shipping, they are going to basically just obliterate the network hash rate for Alephium, which means that all of these profitability numbers, as we're seeing them right now, are going to very significantly be reduced by many times over. I did some very rough math, which is if, Bitmain has made between like 1 and 2,000 of these, you can basically just divide all of these profitability numbers by 10, and that is going to be a very rough estimate of what that would look like, unless of course Alephium's coin price moons before that happens. And then, yeah, you could start looking at, the AL0 and say, well, that would be like it's making about $2 per day, and that's, $1,000 in price. That means $500, 500 days to ROI. And honestly, I'm so over those kinds of calculations because they will never be close to correct. I mean, you can theorize and hypothesize all you want, but coin prices and network hash rates are going to do what they are going to do. In the end, get a miner when you get a good feeling about it, and when you feel like, hey, I'm willing to take this risk here. And that is kind of how I'm feeling about this Iceriver AL0. To me, mining is fun. I like having these little miners for different coins. Some of them might ROI and make me a good chunk of change. Some might never ROI, and to me, that is okay too, because I take that possible scenario into account when I buy these. So to wrap this all up, if you feel similar to me, of course, again, that's a feeling and not a guarantee of any sort that these will ROI. Again, I cannot see the future, so you're just gonna have to go with how you yourself are feeling, and maybe do your own calculations, see what you come up with. But if you do want to get one, CoinMiner Central actually did provide me with an exclusive discount code for the AL0. It is just 𝗧-AL0, and it gives you about $35 off. This is a cheaper miner, so they can't be handing out like $200 discount codes, or they'd lose money on these. Again, they're not the ones setting the prices for these, it's Iceriver themselves. However, I want you to take into account that price of then around $960, $950 bucks is basically all included. So that includes the power supply, it includes shipping, there's no sort of payment fees or hidden, you know, transaction fees or anything like that with Coin Money Central, which I do appreciate. And I believe they also help really lower the import duties and customs fees and all of that, which is nice as well. And of course, you also kind of get the ease of mind of buying through a trustworthy reseller, which, you know, means it comes with customer support, warranty, and all of that good stuff. So I'm gonna end this video here, but please let me know down in the comments how you are feeling about this whole thing and the AL0. Over here I'll put my previous video on unboxing and setting up the AL box, and over here I'm putting my video on kind of calculating what coin price Alephium could hit in a, you know, hypothetical and next potential bull run. So go check those out next, and I'll see you there. Thank you for watching.